Okay, here we go. So looking at this one, this is number 11, just to give you a heads up. On the homework, it's telling us to find the sign of a plus b. And first of all, we need to know sine of a plus b. What that's going to equal to is going to be sine a times cosine b plus cosine a plus or times sine b. So first, I recognize that they give us cosine a. So they give us cosine a here, and then they give us sine b here. So we have one half of the equation. What we need to do is find the other half of this equation. So looking at that, we would need, let me scroll out, we would need to find what is sine of a, which is going to be purple. Oh, man. So looking at what is sine of a, and then what is going to be cosine b. So we can quickly figure that out. Oops, let me move that there. We can quickly find that by just setting what we have. So cosine A is going to be this purple triangle here. So cosine, if you remember from SOHCAHTOA, cosine is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So in this purple triangle, that's telling us that cosine A is 4 over 5, meaning the adjacent side is 4, while the hypotenuse is 5. And what we would need is this missing value here. So looking at that, 4 squared plus x squared is going to equal 5 squared. And we know that that's going to be 16 plus x squared equals 25. Subtract 16 from both sides, you're going to have x squared equals 9. And we know that x is going to equal 3. So this missing side here now is going to be 3. Looking at our B triangle, so this one right here. Oh, and I forgot to mention. So the reason why I set this up in this quadrant is because it's telling us that in the circle of cosine A, 4 over 5, it's saying it is between 0 and pi over 2. So starting at 0 and then pi over 2. So it's going to be in this quadrant, while the triangle B is anywhere from 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi. And 3 pi over 2 is here, and 2 pi is here, because completing that circle. So we know that the purple triangle is in the quadrant 1, while the red triangle is in quadrant 4. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into finding our B triangle. So looking at sine B, if we need to find sine B, the sine is going to be the opposite, which is here, over the hypotenuse, which is here. With that said, so we have sine of B is negative 15 over 17, meaning that the opposite side, which is here, negative 15, over hypotenuse, which is 17 here. So now, if we were to find this missing side, what we would have to do is square both sides. We'd see that, okay, we need a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and we have negative 15 squared plus x squared equals 17 squared. If I remember correctly, what is 17 squared? 17 squared is going to be, 289. So that's 289 there equals, and then negative 15 squared is going to be 225. So negative times a negative is going to be positive 225 plus x squared equals 289. Subtract, if I was to subtract both sides, I would subtract 225 from both sides. And that gives us 289 minus 225 equals 64. And x squared equals 64, and square rooting both sides, x equals 8. I'm going to go ahead and pause this now, and I'll give you part 2 so we can finish this part.